Chapter 8 Cell, the Unit of Life. Topics to be covered are 8.1 What is a cell? Unicellular organisms are capable of I. Independent existence and 2. Performing the essential functions of life. Anything less than a complete structure of a cell does not ensure independent living. Hence, cell is the fundamental structural and functional unit of all living organisms. Anton von Leeuwenhoek first saw and described a live cell. Robert Brown later discovered the nucleus. The invention of the microscope and its improvement leading to the electron microscope revealed all the structural details of the cell. 8.2 Cell theory. In 1838, Matthias Schleiden, a German botanist, examined a large number of plants and observed that all plants are composed of different kinds of cells which form the tissues of the plant. At about the same time, Theodore Schwann, 1839, a British zoologist, studied different types of animal cells and reported that cells had a thin outer layer which is today known as the plasmamembrane. He also concluded, based on his studies on plant tissues, that the presence of cell wall is a unique character of the plant cells. On the basis of this, Schwann proposed the hypothesis that the bodies of animals and plants are composed of cells and products of cells. Schleiden and Schwann together formulated the cell theory. This theory, however, did not explain as to how new cells were formed. Rudolf Virchow, 1855, first explained that cells divided and new cells are formed from pre-existing cells, omnicellular e-cellular. He modified the hypothesis of Schleiden and Schwann to give the cell theory a final shape. Cell theory as understood today is I. All living organisms are composed of cells and products of cells. 2. All cells arise from pre-existing cells. 8.3 An overview of cell. You have earlier observed cells in an onion peel and or human cheek cells under the microscope. Let us recollect their structure. The onion cell, which is a typical plant cell, has a distinct cell wall as its outer boundary and just within it is the cell membrane. The cells of the human cheek have an outer membrane as the delimiting structure of the cell. Inside each cell is a dense membrane-bound structure called nucleus. This nucleus contains the chromosomes which in turn contain the genetic material, DNA. Cells that have membrane-bound nuclei are called eukaryotic, whereas cells that lack a membrane-bound nucleus are prokaryotic. In both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, a semi-fluid matrix called cytoplasm occupies the volume of the cell. The cytoplasm is the main arena of cellular activities in both the plant and animal cells. Various chemical reactions occur in it to keep the cell in a living state. Besides the nucleus, the eukaryotic cells have other membrane-bound distinct structures called organelles like the endoplasmic reticulum, the Golgi complex, lysosomes, mitochondria, microbodies and vacuoles. The prokaryotic cells lack such membrane-bound organelles. Ribosomes are non-membrane-bound organelles found in all cells, both eukaryotic as well as prokaryotic. Within the cell, ribosomes are found not only in the cytoplasm but also within the two organelles, chloroplasts, in plants, and mitochondria and on raw fur. Animal cells contain another non-membrane-bound organelle called centriole which helps in cell division. Cells differ greatly in size, shape and activities. For example, mycoplasmas, the smallest cells, are only 0.3 micrometers in length while bacteria could be 3 to 5 micrometers. The largest isolated single cell is the egg of an ostrich. Among multicellular organisms, human red blood cells are about 7.0 micrometers in diameter. Nerve cells are some of the longest cells. Cells also vary greatly in their shape. They may be disc-like, polygonal, columnar, cuboid, thread-like, or even irregular. The shape of the cell may vary with the function they perform.